I've often been asked how you get the word out to people about your marketing and announcing that you're a coach or doing programs that are marketing a challenge group, etc. The best way to do that, if you are collecting email addresses, and everyone should be doing that, is to use a distribution program. And there are quite a few out there. There's Constant Contact, Delivera, I believe, is local. But I like to use Mailchimp. I've been using Mailchimp for many, many years. It's free up to 2,000 subscribers, which simply means that as long as you maintain a distribution list of 2,000 or under, it will be free, which to me is continues to be amazing. So I have been using Mailchimp for a long time, and I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to go through the areas of creating a campaign and then sending a campaign. So you'll want to sign up by going to Mailchimp.com, and I'm not going to cover all the sign up procedures. It's pretty straightforward. But when you start, all you need to do is either create a campaign, or if you've created a campaign already and sent one, you can replicate a campaign. But we're just going to go ahead and click up here in the right corner, create a campaign. I'm just going to show you how easy this is. Typically, you're just going to select regular campaign. Some of these other ones are a little more structured and technical. But I have very rarely used anything other than just creating a regular campaign. So you'll select that, and from here you'll get an opportunity to send to an entire list or segmented lists or groups, etc. The entire list, and when you open an account, you will not have a list probably, but you can import a list. So let's say you've collected 10 email addresses. It's super easy to import those, and I'll show you that in a second. But when you create your campaign, what you have to do first, you have to select how you're going to send it. A segmented list is simply a list that is broken down into categories. Group is very similar. And then paste emails to build a segment is very similar to segments. We're not going to concentrate on that. We're just going to concentrate on sending to an entire list. So you'll click Next, and then you're going to set up your email campaign. So you can name your campaign anything, and it's recommended that you name your campaign something that you'll recognize when you go back to look at the list of all the campaigns that you've created over a period of time. The name your campaign will not be shown to anyone. The email subject, however, is a different story. And you really want to think carefully about the subject of your campaign, because the email subject is what people will see in the subject line when they receive your email. So you want to create something that's short and sweet and captivating in some way. So let's just say you want to make sure that it is something that is memorable and that what people will want to open. So I've just created this. It's a test email anyway. The from name is going to be from, so you can put your personal name or your business, and you will have to have an email address. That is the law, actually. You have to have an email address, and in the account setup, you'll notice that you have to have a mailing address, and that is to verify that you are not a robot or doing any spam activities. So you fill that information in. All this other stuff below is you can leave alone. If you want to experiment with auto posting to Facebook or auto posting to Twitter, you can. That is really a cool feature. You just want to make sure that you don't over promote yourself. So I typically will keep these unselected, even though if you connect to your Facebook account, when you send the campaign, it will go to the email distribution list. But if you were to connect to Facebook, this would also go to your entire Facebook friend family. So you just want to be careful. I've tried it both ways. I typically like to keep it off, and then selectively will send email campaigns that I've created to my Facebook friends. So you'll click Next. By the way, the merge tags, this is something that you'll see in just a second. Merge tags are personalized pieces of code that allows you that allow you to address your email to first names of people in your email distribution list. So that's a great way to make your emails sound personal. So you click next, and then here you choose a template. You can choose a blank template and then populate it yourself, or you can choose themes, which are pretty nice. You can create a theme or a template and then later save it in the Save Template area, or you can code your own, which I'm not going to recommend here. But we're just going to go ahead and click a basic template just for the purposes of this demo. And I'm going to click the very, very first one, which is the simplest one. We'll select it, and then it's just a matter of populating your content. So here, I'm not going to go through all this detail, but it's super simple. And all you need to do is you can literally, if you're doing a campaign with a photo, which I would highly recommend, you can literally browse for the photo on your desktop computer and find it. If you have photos or images that you've already loaded, you can place them from the photo library, which I'm going to do here. And this was an image from my October challenge group. And then here, these images, I'm going to tell you this now. Hopefully you'll understand it. If you don't, it's not a big deal. But these images look the best if they are 600 pixels wide by any measurement deep. This, I believe, is 600 by 200 or 300. But 600 pixels wide is it's a perfect width to fit on browsers and phones, etc. If you click on the image, this little area will come up, and you can do quite a few things here. If you go to settings and you click edge to edge, it will occupy the full space like so. And if you go to content, you can actually place a link into the image area so that if people type or click on the image, they will go to your website or wherever you want them to go. For instance, in this case, I'm not doing it here, but when I did do it, I sent folks to the actual event, challenge group event page. So we're just going to put this here just for the heck of it. And now it's a link. All of this information can be styled. You can drag and drop. So for instance, if you wanted to do a divider between columns of text, you could do that. You could color the divider. You can do all kinds of really great things. It's just really a great program. If you've placed your Twitter addresses and your Facebook addresses into the account settings area, the social networking icons will populate automatically. In this case, I'm just going to delete them. So if you hover over these or hover over any content, you'll see that you can delete it with the trash can. And you can also duplicate the area. So if you click this little duplicate icon, it will duplicate it so that you can type in more information. So it's super simple. Additionally, you can change the entire look and feel of the design by clicking design and then going through each of the areas here. So let's say you wanted to change the background color of the page to red. You can do that. There are font styles, footer style. There's all kinds of really great things. So when you're done and you feel like you're done, you click next. And then here it will tell you what kind of issues you are experiencing and how to fix them. Super simple. So in this particular case, we did not place something in the email, and it's telling us that we need to do that. So you click the resolve button, and basically what it will do is take you back to the page, and you can now fix that. In this case, it was up here. I'm just going to delete that. I don't want it. We're going to click next again, and we're still having the problem. So let's see what we've got. Looks like we have placeholder text in place, which means it can tell that I have not done any edits to this. which is a really great feature because you don't want to send something out that's a mistake. And so it just noticed that I changed that text. And you just want to go through all these other areas here, make sure everything is correct. And now you can either click schedule, and you can schedule a time to send it. If you have a feature, if you have a lot of subscribers, you can send your email out to batches at a time. In this case, I don't need to do that, so I'm not going to. But you can set this up to send at a specific time on a specific date. And what's great about that is that if you have 5 campaigns, or let's say 4 campaigns that you want to do one every week over the course of a month, you can go ahead and build those campaigns and schedule them all and then send them. They will be sent automatically without any interaction from you manually. It's a great feature. So we're going to go ahead and just set schedule. Eventually I'm going to delete this because I don't actually want to send it. I just want to show you how it looks. So you click schedule campaign. I've scheduled it for 8 p.m. on November 26th. And you're all set. And so to see that campaign and its schedule, you go to the campaigns link and you can see here it's scheduled to go out on November 26th at 8 o'clock in the evening. So we're going to delete that. You click the checkbox, click delete, and then you're required to click type in delete and then delete it. Now I'm going to cover one more quick thing for you, maybe a couple other things, but the lists are very important. I would recommend that you collect a large number of email addresses, first names and last names, and then import that list into Mailchimp. And Mailchimp makes it super easy to add that information. So all you need to do is create a list. Click create a list. And what you're going to do by creating a list is basically you're going to add a list but create a name of the list first. I'm not going to do that because I already have a list. But you create your list. And in this case, my list is called the master list. I just named it master list. And I have several names here. So let's say you want to add subscribers. Well, you can do it one by one, or you can import subscribers. And this is where the power of Mailchimp is just super awesome. So what I typically do is I will copy and paste from an Excel spreadsheet. So I have collected, say, 50 names, first names, last names, and email addresses. You need those 3 categories. I'll click copy paste from file, click next, and then I'll go to my Excel spreadsheet. I'll select all of those email addresses, first and last names. I'll copy them and then I'll paste them right into here. And what that will do, I'm not going to show you this process, but what that will do is it will automatically import the information into Mailchimp for you. So you don't have to type all that information in here. And it will update your lists, for instance, if there are any duplicate email addresses. And it will allow you to do more sophisticated things on down the line. But the first thing you want to do is get your list in here. And once you have your list, you're all set. You can start sending campaigns to anyone that you have placed into your area, in your list area. So it's a great feature. The other thing that's really neat that I want to show you are reports. And the best way to go to reports and look at reports is to simply look at a campaign that you've already sent and then click view report. As you can see on the dashboard here, you can see some basic stuff. But if you go into view report, you can see much more specific information, including who actually clicked and opened your emails. So in this particular email that I sent out, which was a very early one, I sent this to 60 people, and I can see that just over half of the people opened the email, and it looks like 9 people clicked a link that I may have had in there. 5 emails bounced, which meant that there were 5 emails that were invalid or wrong. But if I click the 33 open, you can actually see the people who open the emails. And this is important because if you want to do any targeted marketing to people who are interested and who have opened the email, that's where segments and groups start coming into play. And it's a very, very powerful technological piece of this software that can be utilized over time. And there's a lot of other things that you can look at. But that covers my tutorial on the basics of creating an email campaign. I would suggest that you begin collecting your emails and building your list and sending out regularly. You don't want to send out too much, but you certainly want to send out regularly. This is where you want to do all your promotion, possibly for challenge groups, for your website, if you're selling, if you're doing videos. This is a great way to collect those emails so that you remain in touch with and can market to potential customers in the coming months and years.